What's going on, guys? Finally we're filming videos with the Lexus. I'm over at Steph's house right now. What did you just have to do, Steph?
After cutting your lug nut off or trying to... Well, see, somebody decided to put 400 foot-pounds of torque on your studs and totally just had to grind off your fucking lug nut. I'm not gonna call anybody out here. But I am gonna ask somebody about where the fuck my beer went.
So anyway, the last time you guys saw the car, we were building the headlights for it, which are still not done. They were sent off to a custom fabricator months ago to have custom brackets made for them so that the Q45 could sit further back from the front lens, and they're still not back. But anyway, I've been sitting on this for probably 6 months. I've had bags for the car. I just haven't had a garage space that I can do anything, and now, thanks to Steph,
Found my beer.
we're gonna do that today. Steph, how you feeling about 20-year-old bolts that have never been undone in their life?
I'm pretty thrilled. Not done. Oh, rusty bolts. My favorite.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Could have been worse, I guess.
Yeah, we could be somewhere without any fucking power tools, like if I was doing this. So, to drive the car low, I'm gonna have to tuck the wiring harness, which is underneath this fender. And so, I need to take the fender off. Oh, you're gonna try and pop the upper control arm off?
Yeah, I'm gonna bump the upper control arm off, let the whole fucking thing fall. You also have the sway bar, but your bolts are so rusted, and without shredding your sway bar end links, I'd rather do that and just drop it and pull it. Ultimately, pulling the sway bar is the best, but I can't get on it enough to get it to spin off because the ends are so rusty off that it's just spinning them.
Fair enough.
Do it like I do the trucks at work.
Hey!
Filters on there.
Filters? This is on Instagram.
Oh, I can run from there.
So Steph tells me that Sierra is the shit at running lines.
She's a master, man. She loves it.
So
I'm stuck and I can't run anywhere.
this is the most complicated fender lining ever.
There's so many fucking bolts. The one thing I hated about my car is always being able to see right here.
Oh yeah, seeing all this fucking
All this,
trash, yeah.
So if you cut it like up here and up here where your tires go, but at least from the photo shot, it's covered and like can be cleaned. There's no sense of ditching them.
What the fuck is this? It has like little foamy pieces on it. What the fuck, Toyota?
Wait, I still have
What do you need that for?
That's how many came out of there?
That's
Just for one fender line.
That's the fender and the fender liner. Hell, that's not even all the fender. Like that.
Still haven't gotten the fender off. Every single time we think we're getting it off, there's 3 more bolts somewhere. What do you know? We found 2 more bolts.
Car's put together very well.
Dude, that's why that ride's static. The bumper never fall off.
There it goes.
Another bolt.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Finally. And the reason we took the fender off is because this is the wiring harness for the entire fucking car. And it sits here. Which, if you're at out, or if I drive real low, I'm gonna rub through this. So, I gotta try and take it, put it above this pinch weld, so it can sit up
I know
here.
your ass creeping.
And you don't need eyes to be stancy.
Phil instead of bashing it up. I'm gonna run a line across here and come down and just pull it out and then grind it smooth.
I'm gonna drive this thing head out.
If you don't, I'll be disappointed in you. So I'm figuring a triangle. Not like this. Basically like this.
Through the top here.
So I'm gonna give you a 1/4 inch of more play and not bottoming out if you're riding low.
Everything to get just that little bit lower. By this point, the car is on the ground. Holy shit! You grind it down right here too. Holy shit!
Better fucking lay damn close.
Yeah. Where'd you run the lines?
Under this plastic and zip tied on your fuel rails so you can drag the frame and they ain't gonna get any fucking thing on them.
Alright, we finally got to a point where we're gonna stop for the night, so we're gonna end off the video soon. But I know the title of this video said, how did I get air suspension for $500? And you're probably curious, one, how I got it and what setup it is and how the fuck that's even possible. For one, it's not like a super cheapo setup. It's not a budget setup. It's not a sponsored setup. I did actually pay $500 for this air setup, and I'm gonna run you through it. So this mess in here is
Gonna be sorted out tomorrow.
is gonna be sorted out tomorrow. Everything's wired up already because I went through and did this a little while ago. But this is a Vera air suspension setup or management. Have dual via compressors. I think they're 444s. Where's the controller at? I think it's down here. The controller's kind of ugly.
It changes colors.
It does change colors. It does do that. But it is actually a kind of sophisticated setup. It's not like manual switches with a fucking gauge, like the cheapest setup you could possibly have.
They've got a lot of potential with the setup. I think with some updates and a little bit of fine tuning on their wiring and setting the thing up, I think they've got potential. But they just tried too hard, especially with all the Bluetooth add-ons and stuff.
This is it's not airlift, let's just say that. Airlift is plug and play, and it's very nice to have. This is a little bit more complicated, but alright, so the bags are D2 Racing. These are triple bellow rears, and they're double bellows in the front. They're actually pretty nice. When I got the setup, one of them had like a little bit of a rubbing mark on it, so I replaced one of the bags. Shout out to my buddy Fazem for sending me a replacement like the next day. If you need spare parts, hit him up. But yeah, these are pretty nice, and the whole setup actually has like less than 5,000 miles on it, and I'm gonna tell you how I got it for so cheap. Okay, so originally I knew the guy who bought this air suspension, and he actually sold the car to someone else that I knew, and then that guy was trying to sell me the setup for whatever money a little while back, and I wasn't really that bothered because I was like, whenever I can afford it, I'll just buy brand new like airlift stuff or whatever. And then a couple months down the line, he posted his car for sale for like $1,000, and then in the post said an extra $500 I'll throw in the air suspension. And I was like, okay, shit, can I buy the air suspension for $500? Because I figured if there was something wrong with it or it sucked, I could flip all of the parts and make the money back. The struts alone I could probably sell for more than that, so I was like, whatever, I'll just buy it. He said that it wasn't working, or like a fuse was blown, and I think that's because he took the setup off of the car and tried to connect it to a power source, but didn't run the ignition wire to something, so it would turn on and then turn off after a couple of seconds, and he thought that a fuse would blow. That's not the case. The setup works perfectly, and it's pretty new. So yeah, I got a whole air suspension set up for $500, and if you look around for the right deal, you may find one too. But yeah, it's not always possible to buy air suspension for $500, but I did. So this is where we're at with it right now. Wiring harness is tucked. Everything has been notched in here for as much clearance as possible. And I'm kind of hoping that the car will hit the floor before any of this hits. We'll see. All that's left to do is do the same thing the other side, and then do the rears, and then run the wiring, and we should be a-okay. I'm gonna end off the video here. Thanks for watching. Tomorrow we'll be finishing this up, so we'll see you guys then.